Reimagine Detroit, a hybrid future. For decades, Detroit was a beacon of hope during the Great Migration. But for African Americans, the promise of the arsenal of democracy was broken by reality. They were confined to overcrowded neighborhoods like Black Bottom, trapped by redlining and racial covenants that systematically prevented them from buying homes elsewhere. And then, their communities were literally dismantled, bulldozed for projects like the I-375 highway. As auto plants fled, black workers were last hired, first fired. They faced not just poverty, but a police force notorious for its violence. The failure of national civil rights laws to change daily life in the North fueled a rising militancy. The city was a tinderbox. On July 23, 1967, it ignited. A police raid on an after-hours bar on 12th Street, a thrown bottle, and suddenly the city was engulfed in flames and fury. The response was a bloody occupation. The Algiers motel incident saw 3 black teenagers killed. As chaos peaked, President Johnson sent in the 82nd Airborne. When the smoke cleared, 43 were dead, thousands injured, and entire blocks were ashes. The old Detroit was gone. From this crisis, a radical new path was forged. In 1970, treating Detroit's collapse as a national security issue, the president signed the Detroit Special Economic Zone Act. The act created a powerful, quasi-governmental Detroit Development Corporation, or DDC. It was endowed with federal seed capital and 2 extraordinary powers: the power of eminent domain to assemble land, and an equity stake mandate, forcing corporations to grant the city a 20 to 30% share of local enterprises. This stake was held in a Detroit Community Wealth Fund. Coleman Young, who was a key contributor to the creation of the Detroit Special Economic Zone Act, was elected to execute this grand plan with foresight and execution. The DDC used its power to force a symbiosis between rivals. In 1978, it brokered the GM Toyota Detroit Trinity, creating the NUMMI Detroit joint venture in a new advanced manufacturing corridor. This was the hybrid model in action. American and Japanese manufacturing seamlessly blended. A unionized, high-skill, high-wage workforce overseen by the DDC. In return for a stable city-managed environment, global corporations like Honda and Volkswagen partnered up. They got efficient production, Detroit got jobs, technology transfer, and a direct equity stake in its own economic future. After 20 years of investment, the model delivered its most revolutionary benefit. The Detroit Community Wealth Fund, now worth billions, began paying an annual citizens' dividend to every resident. This direct cash transfer dramatically reduced poverty and changed the quality of life. The DDC, flush with capital, then flexed its power not through taxes, but through investment. It financed and built a monumental automated subway system with its own funds, a stunning manifestation of the city's reclaimed financial and engineering prowess. Today, Detroit is an economic powerhouse. It is the global leader in autonomous vehicle technology and battery production, a Title I because the DDC strategically invested in the intellectual property of the next industrial revolution. The urban landscape has been transformed. The vacant lots of the past are now community-owned solar farms and vertical agriculture facilities. The citizens' dividend has created a vibrant, stable middle class, fulfilling a new social contract. Governance is run by a sleek, data-driven, technocratic meritocracy within the DDC. It is more authoritative than a traditional city, but it is legitimized by incredible economic success and direct financial benefit for every citizen. This political philosophy is known as the Detroit Consensus. The result is a Detroit that is neither a laissez-faire capitalist city nor a purely socialist one. It is a formidable public-private hybrid that harnesses the engine of corporate power to achieve a deeply socialist goal: collective wealth and shared prosperity for all.